All right, we ready to go
Completely
live?
wasted.
Yep.
All right,
There's a
live
gif
part
of it
two.
somewhere on the internet. I can find it later.
Okay, so
Yeah, go ahead.
um, she says that I've been trying to keep this place mended for ages. I had hair color back then, but I can't be
I got
bothered
one.
to waste time mending and mending. Besides, the plants keep the place in check well enough and held up enough. But if you believe you can mend this place, by all means, I would love to stop some of these leaks and maybe spruce the place up and attract some new customers. Kids these days are going out for those artifact shops, and ever since Sean went down, had all kinds of manner of folk around here.
Crying shame.
You all are the first non-regular
That's
I've had in a couple weeks.
not a crying shame. That's a good thing that people are coming into the shop.
No,
She
But
just
no, they're going to the
left.
artifact shops.
Oh,
yeah, she means the city itself, and she just said that she hasn't had a non-regular in weeks.
Gotcha.
Like she has regular orders that she ships out to, but that's it.
Mm.
The first in-store customer.
Because most of the regular people who come in would be like, let's not go there. That's probably
Right.
As she mentions that, Sab will try and like lean over next to Tay and Seda and sort of just whisper, "It's even if you can mend it, it's probably best."
I know. I would wait. For now, I would really like to just take a look at the garden, and then we can try and help fix this place up come tomorrow, maybe.
And I didn't retweet it yet. I saw it today though. Yeah, I mean you guys can do that whenever you want.
In return for fixing up her shop, we can possibly make a few potions here for ourselves with her plants and stuff.
Well, I thought
access to the garden.
So what's the actual deal gonna be?
I think
What Sab said.
what you said was you were going to make potions for her to sell
For her,
for exchange for access to the garden tonight.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what brought up the mending thing. Okay. So we'll go with that deal. Is there anything else you guys want to do while it's daytime? Or do we want to go straight to Zampos' dinner or skip straight to midnight? Doesn't really matter which way you want to do it.
Like in character, I mean, we'd have to go eat somewhere.
Right.
But
let's go have dinner.
Zip right past that.
Unless something humorous is supposed to happen. Something humorous is supposed to happen. We should totally do that dinner.
Shouldn't you roll an alchemy check?
Let's say, you guys, are you gonna make the? You gonna make a potion today?
Yeah, might as well.
You can speed the process along because Seda's there, and she has the profession herbalism. So, Seda herbalist combined with Tay's alchemy. All right. So you two get together brewing, and you spend the hours before dinner making. Let's see.
Using the supplies she has on hand, probably could make something pretty good.
Or you could make, because she probably wouldn't be interested in having like one insanely pricey potion.
No.
She would probably want a whole bunch of like cheaper potions that she can actually move and will drive more people to come to her shop. Plus, if she knows how to make potions herself, which she probably does since she's got this shop as an apothecary, doing smaller things would give her an idea of what would drive interest as well.
You guys brew up enough potion mix to fill 6 vials of Cure Light Wounds. And she'll be able to sell those at a competitive rate. Normally it's 50 gold a piece. So she is super happy about that. It normally takes her a full day just to make one of those potions.
I've been playing with the alchemy set a little.
I've been playing God.
What evils have I brought into this world?
The whole potion market's gonna crash because of Ted.
Yeah, she's gonna Black Desert it. As soon as someone sees something selling for expensive market, everyone else is gonna start doing it. Horse armor.
Alright. So, you guys head back to Zampos for dinner, where you are joined by a host of a bunch of kids, Zanpost, and then, of course, his kids. It's his grandkids, and then his daughter and her husband. It's a mess. At best, it's a mess. But you all kind of make do, and of course, Seda gets some food for Firouz and brings it outside. So so the two of you can eat out there. And the kids, they hurriedly finish their dinner so that way they can go outside and jump on the horseman.
And here
that was the
Iowa
only
can
way
go
that they
and
would calm
sit
down.
outside and go and serenade them with some violin music, some romantic violin music, so they can have their nice little date night dinner, and then the children come out.
Date night dinner? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about because they're dealing with all the super loud kids inside,
Yeah.
and I was like, no, fuck that. I'm outside with Satan.
As soon as Zampos says, "Okay, all right, everybody, just sit down, relax, stop asking questions, and eat, and then you can go play on Firu." And there's just like this moment of like, but there's peace and quiet at the table.
And it's
Everybody's able to finish it.
And the looks are not actually from the children; it's actually from the adults.
So, as you guys are like almost halfway done with your food, the door busts open and some like 13 gnome kids come just flocking onto Firu. He's immediately like, and then they're just like everywhere. He's like trying to swat away, and they're like clinging to his arm. Horseman, take us for a ride. No, stop! Get off my neck!
Bronco.
Ah!
Fucking Bronco.
Yeah,
You're
basically.
gonna hold on the longest.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, he's freaking out, and they're holding on and laughing and cheering. He's
Someone goes
throwing
through
them
a
through
window.
windows, and they're coming out with glass in their face, and like, yay! Oh wait, sorry, too close to home there, Sab.
Yes, a little bit.
Poor Sab. No one understands. No one understands.
So Sam,
No
Sam
one
after
knows
she
what
finishes
it's
eating,
like
since
To be
they were
the Sab man
so
behind
Sabrith,
blue glass.
Short
Anyways,
corn.
after eating-
himself on an aquarium.
yes. After eating, Sab will end up going outside because they seem to be interested in the cat ladies as well. So Sab will go out and try and play with some of them and get a few of them away from Furious, so he's not so completely deluged by them.
Zambo said that was an earthbreaker. Are you gonna break the world with it?
I'm not that strong yet.
Okay, because I don't want you to break the world. I live here.
Okay, just for you, I won't.
Can you break a
I was going
house?
to. Yes.
Whoa! That's
Much
what
like
Fear's
the
like.
cat window.
Yeah, well, I rode a dragon. And they're like, silly horse man.
People ride.
Horsies can't go on dragons. People ride horsies.
Sam's just dying of laughter at that.
It's like, no, really, he did.
Yeah, I was on the back of a dragon.
On his back.
Okay,
Hey, you're-
I've been to the museums too. I've been on the back of a dragon too.
And then he just gets really angry. It's like, I'm gonna cut its fucking head off.
Oh god.
His front foot is just like tapping on the ground, just going. The horseshoe
It's okay.
cracking.
Look. Once I get the skin from Bash, we could show him. Okay.
Just a giant roll of dragons. I'm going to need an entire castle courtyard for this.
She essentially is gonna get it. It's gonna be literally like folded up like a parachute.
Jumps out the airship.
Backpack. Dragon.
Yeah. Falls for a good.
Still
It's
for,
gonna be
Good
the
60
best
feet.
fucking thing ever, and you know it.
for like drama's sake, that will be amazing. Like Tay just jumps off the edge. What are you doing? Dragon.
We just need to get Firu a wingsuit.
Jump off the edge. Do it.
He wingsuits to catch up. Right as soon as you transform, he just like gallops from the back to the front.
Happen.
Well, now we know how we're gonna fight those dragons from the airship.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna fast forward to midnight. You guys make your way back out to the apothecary.
I'm going to essentially be that pterodactyl that you guys have in Ark. It's
Oh,
like your moving bird.
yeah. Can we build a house on you, please?
Apparently.
So
Sure, go right ahead.
Such an
Okay, Jax.
accommodating professional dinosaur.
what? Anyways, Shy took the crackers away from me like I was eating her only food source. Maybe I was. Anyways,
My brand.
after a while, Jake met her, meet you out there. He kind of looks around. He's just like, "All right, cool." So, nobody else is here, right?
What kind of
the
checks?
What the hell was that?
Can we have made some checks
Oh,
before having this? By the way, like perception checks.
Sure.
I'm gonna let my bear out and play.
With the kids.
No,
No,
we're
we're at the
over at
garden
the
Oh. Okay.
No, not in the garden. She said, "Don't trample the garden."
yeah.
We're
We're
not
outside of the
trampling the garden. We're outside the garden.
She said we could go in.
Quiet.
My bear is super quiet.
Oh, okay. Handle animal. Bear wants to go in the garden. Bear is still adolescent.
Bear needs to chill his ass.
Fear's got great handle animal, doesn't he?
I do. As well.
Where is it? Okay. Let me check Fears as well. Mine's higher.
No, what's gonna end up happening is Sada's gonna end up failing, and she's gonna go, "No, Tay, shift." I'm gonna yell at this. I'm gonna yell at this bear, and you're gonna translate for me.
All right,
Taste
so
shifts,
that's a
turns into
success,
a
but the
wear
bear
shirt.
wants to make a loud noise in resistance. It wants to go in the garden, but it's going to sit there because you said so, but it's going to make a loud response.
Is it gonna fart?
No,
It's gonna roar.
unless you get higher than a 20. Not just one higher, but unless you get higher than what you have.
Is it only for Sada?
Can
Yes.
she roll a? Does she have to make a new check?
No, it's a surge.
Okay.
All right, you got it. He goes, "Huh?" And you go. You're gonna go back in the bag.
You go back and back. I'm letting you stretch your bear legs.
You may as well put some round glasses on this bear because you've turned it into Harry Potter.
And
You want to
then,
go back in your cupboard under the doors?
and then Vicky falls out of the garden near the bear.
Panda bear.
Just the bear freaks out, just terrified for a second.
Where is my?
And
Oh,
Vicky
there.
looks up, and then they engage in some sort of silent talk between Bear and Penguin that no man could ever know. While you and Jake,
I'm very.
Jake has
tempted
already
to
scouted the
understand
area.
this
Your
conversation.
perceptions have cleared the area. There's nobody there. Nobody listening in. You can hear the occasional snore of the lady at the apothecary. I don't think I gave her name yet.
No, you didn't. Just said she was an old gnome lady.
And
Okay.
she's a witch.
Yeah, she didn't give her name. Alright. So, he goes, alright. I've been here for a few months, trying to figure things out. I haven't been able to collect proof, not like the shitstorm that you guys caused.
Oh,
Surprise there. You guys causing a ruckus.
Uncle Ruckles.
We have our specialties.
They call them
We like to cause an uprising.
they call
Really?
them shattered
What I do?
kids. The shattered
Yeah.
kids.
Oh.
What you guys saw in the caravan.
Definitely shattered.
Yeah. They're
Is that what you call
they're
them now?
creating them.
Now that it's completely destroyed, or
no, that's what they're called. They create them here, and then they train them in the Mournlands.
So they're making an army of these things.
In the Mournlands, yes, there's several outposts in the Mournlands, from what I've gathered. I haven't been there. I've been trying to work my way to go there, but it's not easy.
Are they? Do you have any idea if they're connected with the Dragon Legion?
The Claw? It doesn't seem like it. It seems like they have their own agenda, and to be honest, I think they want to fight against the Dragon Legion. Though if either side wins, we're all screwed.
What can we do to help things here? We're not gonna lie. You know what our specialties are. We make trouble.
So, we could act now and destroy them for 5 easy payments of $9.99. That's it. He says, well, their main factory of sorts, it's more of an abomination alchemy lab, is here. And they're trying to uproot the Cannith factories out of here. That's this whole stalemate. Another side is pressing forward, and they can't produce faster without the Cannith factory. But with you guys' help, we could probably lay waste to a good chunk of the factory, claim it under, terrorist attack or something like that, and root their main facility out of here. I don't have a full understanding of the layout of the place. I haven't gone to all the rooms, but I know where the main place is. I know how to get there, but it's heavily guarded. And not just heavily guarded by the Warforged that they've been manufacturing, but heavily guarded by some shattered kids and some very, very crazed alchemists. They're willing to do whatever. That they're doing what they want down there, and some of the shit that I've seen, some of the shit that's happened to me. It's hard to take in.
Well, we've heard and caused some pretty weird stories, so give it a shot.
Are we just talking rampant destruction, or is there some sort of power source, or is there something specifically that'll take down the structure, or what?
No, we can't take the structure down because that's going to cause too much collateral. We're talking breaking their forges, breaking the foundry, and laying waste to the alchemy labs.
How far
Three
in
separate
are they?
facilities. So the alchemy lab is the first and foremost one to get to. It's hard to say how far in it is. It's a couple of structures, and it's close to the port. So they're mixed up in how they have these warehouses set up. It's just really confusing. Basically we hit the alchemy lab first, then we bypass the forge and go straight to the foundry, and then we come back and break the forge.
So you said you've been into these places before, right?
Wait,
Kind of,
hold
sort
on.
of.
Are you suggesting that we play terrorist? Or have you found... I don't know what the hell I want to say. I don't know what the heck I want to say. Just basically, are we being the terrorists here, or are we being the...
We're going to put on Emerald Claw outfits and go in and do this. I've stolen a few, and I know they'll fit you guys good enough. They'll cover you good enough. It's a tabard, cloaks, some basic things.
All right, so Sab will have to like lift her cloak a bit and show where the buckler is, and say, "I'm gonna have to have something to swap this out with." Then
I can just have something illusion that.
okay. That the Warforged can't see through.
Oh, they can't see through, but they'll know that there's magic there. But if it's already a magical item, or if you got others, it'll be too much chaos for them to single out what that is. The way that you're talking about their eye, right?
Yeah.
The way that works is it just sees an outline of something being magical and a color as to what kind of magic it is.
What kind of weaponry do those guys have?
All kinds. Black powder based, magic based. I guess to put it in easy terms, consider all of them. If a Warforged could be masterworked, consider them that.
I'm just... full circle.
Much. So I will say, the building that it's at.
The buildings.
How close is it? The build. Well, are any of them close to any other buildings that see public use or common people going through, or that might have a rooftop with
Yes,
a good vantage
but
point?
not at this time of night. And this time of night is when we'd have our best chance. It's over in the port.
Wait, are you suggesting we do this today?
As soon as possible, yeah.
What the hell happened to us going to an inn?
Why the change in timetable?
Covering my tracks. If somebody overheard us, they'd be going to wait at an inn.
All right. So this was the plan all along, then.
Yep, pretty much.
So Garrett, out of character, Garrett's gun can see through walls,
Yeah.
even leaded walls,
Mm-hmm.
and it can shoot through them to some extent, can't it?
Mm-hmm.
So Garrett would know more about that than we would, but Garrett, it might be possible with how amazing your weapon is that we wouldn't even have to break into one of the facilities. You might be able to just take out the crucial equipment with a single shot from outside.
Or if
Do
anything,
you say something like that in character?
Sab doesn't know all the details of Garrett's gun. I was saying that's something that Garrett would probably...
Like, does that get brought up now? Is what I'm saying.
It's up to Garrett.
Because I don't think Garrett told us that he could see through the wall.
Well, you guys would have seen me use it on
yeah,
the
we
back of the
never
caravan.
got through the wall at it directly. I thought.
I'll just assume he has said something or alluded
Yeah.
to it.
All right, then Sab will say that to Garrett and be like,
Hey, doesn't your gun see through walls?
and then
Yeah.
to,
Jake kind of looks. He looks at you questioningly, but he says, "Well, then we would save that for the final one, the foundry."
If
How many
anything,
buildings are we talking about?
Garrett can be the sniper on the building across from us and leading us through there.
Yeah, true.
You have...
Because he
Yeah.
can see through the walls.
is it...
So
Mm-hmm.
he'd be able to let us know, okay, take a right here, there's two guys up ahead, you know, so and so.
You can cast from a scroll even if it's not a spell that works for your class, right?
Yeah.
You just have to make some sort of check. Or if you're a caster, it's just
If
a
you're a
casting
caster,
check,
it works.
right?
If you're
Okay.
a caster, it just works. If you are If you
You
are
have to
not,
use
you have to use
magic
magic
item.
device, and it can backfire.
I know you might not have anything of this caliber, but is there any chance you've got a scroll of greater invisibility?
No,
Saying to Jake.
nothing like that here in town.
Damn. That's honestly, like, tactically sounding, that's a fantastic idea, but they would catch on to it pretty quick, and they would search for the shooter. And if he's alone, that presents a
We
lot of
wouldn't.
issues.
I would not suggest him be alone to begin with. I would hope that he'd have like Dome and Seneca.
They're outside of the.
Yeah, they're over the airship.
Actually,
Can we not call them down?
we can't bring the airship in.
I know we can't.
Jake
bring them in.
specifically said not to.
I know, but can Seneca and Dome get over here?
Jake, do you know the names of anybody who works in one of those facilities, or like the alchemists themselves, or anything?
They don't give real names.
Okay, do you know anybody who works in those facilities by name?
Not
In
by their
any
real
of the
name.
three?
No, not by their real name.
Do you know their alias?
Yeah,
Out of-
we have their numbers.
All right, because out of character, we've never tried to see if an
Yeah.
alias works for Seneca's thing.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
all right, can you give me one of those?
Yeah, Agent 347.
Okay.
He's
So
he's
Sab will use her little sending stone and say
one of the main
to
guards.
talk to Seneca and say, Seneca, you there?
Oh, hi.
Hey, you've got your little orb thing with you, right?
Oh, yeah.
Can you try and concentrate or say, or however it works, Agent 347?
Okay, yeah, sure. She says it. It doesn't pull anything up.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
It's gonna pull up Agent K9 now. 'Cause apparently K9
well-
is his real name.
That was worth a shot. Just out of curiosity,
Yeah, that's what I was saying. What Xandrid said. If Garrett's not shooting, then they won't have any reason to suspect anything.
if he was just guiding us with like the
Yeah,
sending stone or
they
something.
said. Jake said that we can save the final shot, or the
Say that for the
final
foundry.
shot.
And Garrett could be invisible, guiding us the entire time.
Yes,
Well,
Could, yeah.
for
we
But
need
he-
some sort of communication.
He could do that with us as well. He could
Yeah,
still
but
see
it's more
through the walls
difficult
with
to
us.
sit there and aim with your gun like this while you're walking through hallways and stuff.
Out of character, I'm like, just the idea of splitting the party is always horrible to me.
Oh, it definitely is, but that would make
But-
it so much easier on
In
us.
character, it makes a lot
that's why
of
I'm
sense.
saying
Yeah.
call him back and call Seneca and Dome with to chill with him, so he has backup. And then Seneca.
Misa would be the strongest backup to have. She's the
Yeah.
strongest, but Seneca.
But she hates him.
Yeah, but she'd do it if Seda asked.
Not to
Probably.
mention
She'd just be
Seneca-
like, listen, you can sit like 30 feet away from him, I don't
But
care.
the
You're
most
the one.
important question is, Garrett, do you want to do that way?
Well, it's the best chance we have.
All right. And Seb will just hand the sending stone to Garrett and say, call whoever you want to, see if they can come down and help. Celine's still on the ship, too.
Yep.
So Garrett has the
I
sending
honestly
stone
think
now.
Dome should come with us.
That's when Jake
The
says, "Listen,
freaking
I can't get
stick.
anybody else guaranteed paperwork. You have another way of getting them in."
Oh, okay.
Because
Well,
I mean, as late as it is, I'm ready to do this now.
If there's no way, the ship has a cloaking device. So if there's no sort of magic detection field around Trollenport, we could have the ship come close enough, and they can just tell us when they're in range, and take and open a dimension door and let them walk through.
There's not now. During the day, there is. But the Green Cloak mages have to go put that up daily. It'll be another year before that field takes place.
So it's down right now.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got a way to get him in. Garrett, who do you want on your team?
Dude, I'm pretty
So-
sure I can. Oh, wait.
Garrett can actually feasibly just stand on the deck if the ship's
Yeah.
invisible.
Yep.
Oh, well, hell.
So Garrett can just get back on the ship. Dome can come with us since he's like a juggernaut.
And then, so out of character, would Garrett then control Dome for that?
Mhm.
Dude, you get to have the Gatling gun.
Yeah, basically Tony would be guiding us through in Garrett's place, and Garrett would play Dome. I would assume.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I guess that'll be our plan. And I was trying to think because we been informed of the full capabilities of the airship by this point.
No, still.
Okay. With the sending stone, Sab will say to Jake, which of the targets, if we manage to completely level the place, would cause the least collateral damage?
If you had to totally level a place, the only one that's safe to level is the foundry. Forge is explosive. The lab will release all kinds of toxins into the nearby water,
You know what?
and who knows what else.
Okay, so with the sending stone, she'll call Melissa and say, hey, I got a question for you. Just how well equipped would you be for an
That's-
aerial assault to
that's
take
just-
out a building?
That's Tay just doing a sense motive on Jake.
Okay, he's
Just to
legit.
make
He's
sure.
legit.
I am
You hear
feeling.
kind of like a
Teach me.
what exactly do you need to do?
I don't know if we need to do. I want to have options, and that option being if we might need to level a building.
All right. I can remove about half a square mile from existence.
Jesus.
Sab has to take a minute because she is incredibly aroused by that statement.
She goes, but I would rather not do that because everything in that goes away.
So it's not something you can limit then.
I can do my best to dial it in. It's not fully tested. I was able to do small tests.
What about that dragon ballista?
That's great against something that's, built like a tank, but that's a single target thing, not a building thing. She goes, other than that, we do have some stuff we can bombard from the air. But that is highly explosive. It'll give away our position and everything. So
Yeah, this is all last minute. Like,
Uh,
this is stuff that we don't want to do, but we want the option.
how many of the individuals in there are elves?
in where?
The places you're talking about us trying to destroy.
Oh, to Jake.
Not many. Emerald Claw isn't huge on elves. It's mostly humans.
Okay. I was asking.
There's a couple,
Who
but
was that
that's among the
sleeping?
scientists and the alchemists.
Of course. Of course, it had to be them.
All right, so I'm ready. I might actually use my bear this fight.
All right, so there's various ways to get up and down from the ship. I'm not going to make you waste spells on it. Do you want to bring Jacob on the ship with you?
I think that's a good idea to keep him
Okay.
out of suspicions or anything. What does he think about it?
He's fine with it. All right, so
We're going after the lab first, you said?
yes, I'm going to kind of just draw on this map and also use another map. And
Say it is. Go ahead.
just give me a moment here. Let me block out an area. Nope, not like that.
Well, since we're not going to come back here, and we may not get a chance to. Think we should just mend her roof real quick, since it's not going to cost you anything.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
mend it during the night. Why not? Well, no, we're outside.
We can
Yeah.
still mend it.
It,
It's external damage, is it not?
so, okay. Well,
Spend about a minute.
Okay, so
I mean, otherwise,
Wow.
otherwise, I can just have Io get in there because she's a freaking fairy, and she can cast mending inside. Done. What is going on? What is this white? Oh, you're creating. Zoom out. Thought my computer was going insane.
okay, so real quick. So you guys get the place all mended. Looks freaking amazing. You even, add a little sign on there. You had spotted kind of at the last minute that her old sign was written Granny Maple's Apothecary. So when you mended it, it became all nice and shiny with little leaves or vines kind of dangling down from it. Looks beautiful. It's a nice little purple shop with a red roof. Bicky saw it all. She slept through it. Bicky saw it all, and he gives each one of you a leg hug.
Yay.
He gives the bear a bear paw.
That
Morale
was
plus
something-
10 bonus.
Ada wanted to do a morale boost with this bear. She wants to, like, how you get dogs ready to play fetch and stuff.
I got to pet a penguin.
You want to go combat? You want to maul some people? You want to maul some people?
It's excited. It's got a boner. It's got a bearner.
They got a big bow
Oh my
there.
god.
All right. So once you guys get up on the ship, he really quickly outlines okay, these are the buildings. This is how it's laid out. There's no. He says, now imagine there's a bunch of other warehouses and other port buildings around here. These are the ones we'll be focusing on. The ship kind of moves into position over the ones he's talking about as you guys go out on deck. He gets everything coordinated basically. Garrett, you take a look through your scope. You look down. You see that each building is pretty darn heavily guarded. Each passage and hallway has 2 to 4 warforged or other guards wandering down it. You look in the alchemy lab, and wish you hadn't, as there are splayed bodies and all kinds of other things that are just sitting there on tables. But when you get a
yes.
closer look, you realize that all of those bodies are actively moving and kind of it's crazy. You look towards the foundry. The foundry is what you think is probably dwarven created. You don't think that this was put here for them. This was already there, and they must have bought it or something like that.
Okay.
But if you can, give me a engineering check.
Alright.
And I'll say that you describe it to Tay, and she can also give you an assistance on this check.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Damn.
So you start describing everything off to her, naming parts and things like that, and she says that there should be a central cog, basically, to all this that connects to a couple pistons. And you say, "Yep, I see it." She goes, "Shoot that. The whole thing will go out of whack. It'll cause it to completely shut down with the least amount of explosion."
So is that at the forge? Because you said the forge was
Foundry.
the explosive one.
Foundry. Yeah, they're all. Well, the forge is super explosive. The foundry has risk of it, but now that he knows the part to shoot, there's no risk of it. It was the forge, and the forge is highly explosive. The lab has all the toxins. The foundry was your safest bet, but there was still risk, and now there's not. He'll just be able to he'll be able to shoot that, and if he deals enough damage in one shot, he'll be able to shut it down.
Well,
Yeah, cool.
Thank you, 20.
So you look over to the that was the foundry, sorry. The forge itself, You were expecting like metalwork forge and stuff like that, and there is that in one section where they're basically mass producing, and that's on a relative scale. Like we're talking like maybe 5 warforged at a time are being made.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
one. There's
Totally
one
peaceful.
warforged overseeing what's going on.
She's making machines.
Yep. And it's this guy here. He stands a good 7 feet tall, well built. He has some sort of like winged protrusion on his back.
Who saw that earlier?
Big gun.
Sab and
Seda.
Seda saw him earlier.
And
Yeah, if Garrett
he's,
describes it though, we can confirm.
he's overseeing production in that one area over towards this side, where they're making these dudes. And over
When you
towards
were
the other
making-
side, you see that there are just bins of small bodies, mostly black, burned, and charred, and just no good. And very fleshy, kind of torn up. They look decayed, but they look burned. They look burned and decayed. They are being put onto this conveyor belt, basically, and they go under this machine that just drops what looks to be like glass on it, but the glass has a little bit of glow to it. You recognize it to be the shards. And when it drops onto them, the bodies writhe in pain, and the shards very slowly burrow their way into the skin, or whatever skin there is. And they come out the other side and go into a lead bin, and then the lead bin gets sealed and pushed off to what looks to be some sort of steamy vat. If you describe that off, Tay's like, oh yeah, that's liquid nitrogen.
Oh shit.
And they're being spent
Really?
off too.
Nitrogen.
It takes a long time for that process to happen. It's not fast. They're not making a ton at a time. So it looks like they're on par for sending out about 5 to 10 wagons a day. But they've been doing this for several months.
Jeez.
When you were making the token for that captain there,
Mhm.
were you using any reference images?
No, I just thought of a Gundam.
Holy shit. Because if you pulled that from memory, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I had to use a little bit of a reference for the Zaku looking one, but that one, no.
That's okay. If we average it out to 7.5 a day, and they've been doing it for 3 months, that's only 675 of those things.
Don't worry, you got one. One down.
There's only 674 to go.
Here's the problem. We take this stuff out. What the f- are we going to do about the ones that are already in the Mournlights?
Yeah, that I think we're gonna have to save for another day. Jake looks back. If you say that in character, he's like, "Yeah, that's something we'll have to worry about." But if we take this out, Kenneth can take the tower back.
They don't keep any of them intact, just guards here, because I guess
Yes,
they're not.
yeah, he described that. There are a couple wandering, but they are wandering in the lab.
Okay, so Garrett has seen a few of those creatures in the lab.
Yeah, and they're being leashed back, like they're chained with like hooks in their bodies by the Warforged.
Does he ever see any of them like turn and attack the Warforged?
No. They look more like they're like sniffing something out.
Like dogs.
Yeah.
Are there, aside from the alchemists, are there only Warforged in the lab?
No, it's a mixture of races. He said mostly humans,
Okay.
but there are
Do
like
the
there are a
Warforged
couple
with
levels and
the
stuff.
do the Warforged with the guys on the chains ever go past the living people?
Yes.
Okay, and they don't attack the other living people in there.
No.
So they're not rabid. They have some sort of intelligence and training.
Or maybe they're being commanded. But
They
yeah.
could be being commanded, controlled, or something like that. They're not acting like they're freaking out like the one
Yeah.
you ran into.
So they're not feral essentially.
Then again,
They
the
look
one
kind
that,
of feral, like how they're like how they're being, but they're not lashing out actively. They're not acting.
the
rabid,
one that
like you
we
said.
ran into was in halfway
Wasn't even
stage. So All
All
right.
right, do you want us to hit the lab first?
No, that's not where he said first.
Yes, it
Where
is.
did he say first? Oh,
So,
Yeah, if we take out the lab, then
Yep. Lab, forge, foundry.
which part of the lab do you think is the most critical to take out? Just wherever they're.
The
All
actual
of it.
lab. So
Okay.
here, let me mark.
Is it in like
clear.
the dead center?
Let me go to the map background here. Draw a shape. He says no. You have to kind of like. The most direct route is like this. There's other passageways and stuff like that, but that's the fastest way to get to it.
With Garrett's scope, can he? I know he can like dial it to different
Distances.
distances. So when he dials it like back to a certain distance, it will reveal the wall and stuff.
Correct.
Once it's passed a certain way.
Yeah, he
I want
basically has a no
Garrett-
clip.
Okay, I want Garrett to look at this wall specifically and see if there's any way, if there's any kind of booby traps or anything like
Garrett, make a
that.
perception check.
yeah, the northern wall to see if you can like bust it down.
Yeah. I just got asked if I can break a house down, so might be the time
Good
to put
idea.
up or shut up.
Perception.
You can do it.
Garrett?
Sure. Yep. What was our perception again?
Do you have it over there?
He rolled it.
Oh, he did. Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, so 21? Yeah. You spot a part where maybe a recent storm or something hit and has unbolted some of the tin. Right there. It's on top.
Sweet, so we can run in on a corner.
Or you're saying you can smash through the ceiling there?
Yes.
Okay.
About 20 feet up.
Even better, we could drop bear him.
Is there, just looking around at the rest, because he gets a better bonus for like trap finding, doesn't he?
Yeah, there's
Than
no traps.
16? Okay, so he's not spotting any traps, no matter how he's dialing it.
Nope.
In the main lab room, how many people seem to be milling about? How many people seem to be patrolling?
Inside the lab room, there's no patrolling. There's maybe 5 people walking around just working on stuff.
All right, I want him to dial it to there where the hall goes in. How many entries are there into the main lab room?
There's only the one.
Okay.
Then there's all sorts of other little
we
rooms.
have to block.
Since-
block that off.
Well, I'm thinking, realistically speaking, with it being a lab with all those toxins and things, it would. Does it have like a sealed door, like a big heavy door that's meant to keep things intact in case of an accident?
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing's like encased in very thick metals. It's been reworked on the inside. But there's that one weak spot at the top there.
Okay. Does it look
Garrett,
like they
give me a
typically keep this?
perception for the forge, so you don't need one for the foundry.
Wow, 33. It'd be fantastic. You just explode the entirety of the inside of the lab and never even have to end up going in there. Just
So,
drop it to the
Garrett, with that
ceiling.
perception,
Done.
you realize that in the forge there's actually some sort of like waste bin thing that seems to be filled with some crates and stuff. You get a better look and you have a suspicion that it might be explosive. And where it is, it could do some serious damage if you shot it. That said, the main weakness on the Warforged line is a series of chains that run down the middle, basically powering the whole thing, keeping the automated process running, and you could probably shoot that too. And that would just bring it straight to a halt. No craziness.
Of course, it would be a bit unsafe to shoot it now, yeah?
Yeah,
Or-
without planning for it, yeah. But you
Yeah.
see that, like, you could shoot those two things and the foundry
Gotcha.
Quick
to shut them off.
succession, and
Yeah.
then GTFO.
So we'd only have to have a. So is what he's relaying to us that we'd only need a direct assault on the lab then?
That's what it's looking like, yep.
That'd be awesome.
Even with Jake's warning about how explosive the forge was, if he blew that up, it's not gonna like level 8 city blocks or anything.
No, that's what I'm saying. With what he sees in the crate, it looks like it'll be a safe explosion. Safe enough that if it does any collateral damage, it's going to be minimal to the other buildings. Maybe denting in some of the tin and stuff like that. But it doesn't look like there's going to be additional loss of life.
All right. Because yeah, that was one of the other things I was gonna ask, because I know Garrett at least has to try and make out everything he can do as safe as possible.
Yeah.
So is Dome okay with going with us?
Yes.
Is Dome excited about going with us?
Yes.
Jake, I assume you're gonna have to get out of here.
I thought I was going to go with you.
Oh, well. Okay.
You're supposed to say, glad to have you with us. Damn,
Yeah.
Seth.
I don't
No,
want
Sab
to
was-
be on the run with these assholes. So
Well, Sab was mostly just thinking that, since he has his. Well, then again, the whole point of this is so that Kenneth can take the city. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking that far
yeah,
ahead.
we don't need the
I was more
outfits.
thinking All right, so, well, let's get dressed.
I have one question.
Hang on. Yeah, Fear's like he's listening to stuff. He's like, can Seneca keep us on her little ball thingy?
Yeah,
So
that's
that way
what
we can relay.
that's why I was
Okay.
suggesting.
Okay, and then you.
Seneca be with Garrett on that.
What would I do to pull up my bear stats? Is it a cave bear?
No.
Which is
It's a dire
that
bear.
is a dire?
It's a dire bear.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a dire centric bear.
Yeah.
So it's like it would be way more powerful, but it's an adolescent. So yes, use the regular dire cape bear.
Use the dire cave? Okay.
Yeah, because it's adolescent,
That's
so it would actually have the small. Those are the smaller stats.
Yeah. And the enlarge, or basically my dire collar treats it as an enlarged person on my bear. So what would I do for the?
What's its normal damage dice right now? I can.
Yeah, because
Tell you
it
what it is.
says
Go.
to
No.
increase it by 2.
You keep moving away from what I needed.
Do you want
So
this?
it increases it as if it grew two
Okay.
size categories.
Go up. No.
Yes.
Hang on. Go up to the dire bear. Sorry, I thought you were only on one page there. Go down to, or where's its attack at?
Offense right here.
All right. So it's going to be 1d10 damage,
Okay.
and on the other one it's going to be 2d6 damage.
Okay, so the claws are 1d10.
Yeah,
And the
each
bite is
is
1d.
2d6.
Is 2d6.
Yeah. And it would have 7 times. Where's its con at? 7 times 4 more hit points.
7 times. Can someone do that for me while I'm writing this stuff down?
21, 28,
28.
28 more hit points.
And
I
it'll
was-
gain strength too.
Okay, well,
That said-
I
We're going to go on a quick break.
Oh, well, I was gonna ask a question about